I
You're
know.
telling us this
Yeah,
now?
I know. It's so. Yeah, we are soft live. We have 4 minutes till we go live. But yeah, no, it's good. How's the weather there? It's like 30 degrees here today. It's
Oh, nice. It's
yeah.
not
It's our
here.
first super hot day.
It's it's about 20 here. I was in Medicine Hat on the
It's
weekend
all
for a
right.
match.
Yeah.
Saturday was 34 and we're just like open
Oh,
bald prairie and it was so hot and
yeah.
like hot winds.
Yeah.
But then Sunday we get there and it's like 6 degrees and there's cold
Oh my
winds and it
gosh.
feels like October.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Was that Tyler's match? The
Tyler
CAPRA stuff?
Delbert's PRS Pro Series match.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
2 day Rimfire.
Nice. Nice.
Yes.
Nice. That's an awesome match. It's on my bucket list.
Oh,
One
yes.
day.
Well, prepare
One
for
day.
wind.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. That's all there is out in the prairies. It's
If you
all
don't get
wind. Where
sunburned, you'll get windburned.
yeah, I know. Yeah, Tabor's like that, but Medicine Hat especially is super windy.
Medicine Hat even more. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was out in I was in Nova Scotia this weekend. We had a CRPS match there.
Nice.
Yes, it's good.
It's
We had
nice
a
to
great
see the
turnout.
Atlantic
Lots of
provinces
people.
growing.
What's that?
It's nice to see the Atlantic provinces growing in the shooting sports.
Yeah, yeah. There's the problem there is they're so spread out. It's hard to find one location where everyone can go and it's not a 6 hour drive.
Wow.
So like,
We're like that here. Tyler's match in Medicine Hat's only 3.5 hours for us, and that's one of our closest. So we're
that's not
used to
bad.
6 to 10 hours. If you
I
have a
know.
match in 6 hours for most guys, whew, what a treat. Yeah,
Soon. We're working on it, right? It's growing. I mean,
exactly.
back, 8 years ago there were none
None.
for
Yeah.
rimfire, so we're moving in the right direction.
Oh,
We
definitely.
had Lyle James on,
Oh, yeah.
Lyle McGregor. So I mean, on the island, there's 3 or 4 different clubs hosting matches. So they rarely have to leave the island. And then BCPRL hosts a ton of matches in the Lower Mainland and the interior. So
Yeah, which is really
it's a pretty
good.
good scene out west. Yeah,
Yeah, they're
yeah,
doing really well with that. It's nice they have that pocket on the island, especially because the ferry's gotten so
yeah.
much more expensive.
It's
So,
outrageous. It's
yeah.
outrageous. It's like $200 each way for me and my trailer. So
Yeah, it's
it's
crazy. I
it's
mean,
painful.
they've done a great job on the island. And then yeah,
Yeah,
BCPRL. I mean, when we started the foothills region, I carved out a little piece of BC.
yeah,
But just because it made sense geographically. So
yep,
yeah. It's like if you took
yep,
that Alberta border and you just drew the line straight instead of the squiggle, like it
yeah.
like I'm taking Fernie and
Makes sense.
Cranbrook.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Josh Botha can have the rest. It's fine.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. You like what you like. That's
Yeah.
fair enough.
Well, it just makes sense because they don't have to traverse that much for mountains and they all come to the prairie matches anyways because they're just that much
Yeah,
closer. So yeah, it works
yeah.
out.
No, it's good. It's good. It's awesome to see. We just got to work on Northern Ontario
Yes.
and Manitoba's starting to get there, but there's nothing like near Winnipeg.
No, Manitoba's picking up though. But yeah, Northern
Yeah,
Ontario, because I was like, oh, all those guys from like Thunder Bay, Kenora. I mean,
yeah,
Like
yep,
T-Bay is what, 8 hours from Winnipeg. So I mean, that's not too
yeah,
bad in all reality. I mean, it's not the best highway,
yeah.
um but they don't have a ton up there. I mean, and I feel like with how dense the bushes and stuff, it would have to be rimfire. I talked a fair bit to like Mike Heineck about it because like I'm
Yep.
from there and
Are
he
you
goes
really?
for work. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Marathon. He's been in marathon
Yeah.
for a few times now.
Yeah. I was
Anyway,
born
this
in
8:30.
Ontario.
Let me.
A rare
Where are
Carlee
you?
fact.
Okay. We'll get back to that. Stand by. Let's kick off the intro. Hey, 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 welcome to season 4, episode 9 of the Rimfire Nation podcast, brought to you by testroad.ca, your home for all your precision shooting needs. Tonight, we are graced with the presence of Carlee Krtolica. How do you say that name?
Yeah, you're
Is that
close
it?
enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there were way too many consonants in there. And I know that's not the way to do it, but I tried.
Yeah.
And we are going to talk about all the things revolving around Apex, CAPRA, the World Rimfire Championships, and the Prairie Rimfire, not resurgence, but growth. I guess it's going like gangbusters. So we're gonna sit down and chat about that. But first, let us take a look at what is new at Tesro. Let me see what it is. How do I do this again? There it is. Share. I think that's it. There we go. Yep. So builds are big. Builds are back. Tesro builds are awesome. Shooting guns. If anyone has not heard about it, they take the proven CZ457 action and they put on IBI barrels and put it in the chassis of your choice, either an XRS or an ACC Premier Gen 2. I think they also do the Elites. And that is proven. And they test shoot each one before it goes out the door to make sure it's holding the standard of performance that they have been known for. What else is new? They have a lot of pistol upgrades. Ementech is one of their favorite suppliers. They have the new MDT Crush It stage timer. And what else? Let me just scoot down quickly. I know that the new on-shoots actions are coming in. More about that later when we get Asmir on the show to talk about on-shoots new PRS-oriented rifles. What else? I don't think there's anything else that's really there. I know that they're waiting on Ely. I know that they're waiting on Lapua and SK shipments, so stay tuned for that. I'm sure he will notify all of us when that shipment arrives. I know it arrives in his loading area by the pallet load, so it's a long day for the Tesro team when that shipment arrives. So, and that is what is new at Tesro. Hey, Carlee, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I am awesome. Travis, how are you, sir?
I'm also awesome.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And Carlee is joining us to update us on all things. The big news for this year, obviously, is the World Rimfire Championships and Team Canada going to Great Britain.
Yes.
But before we get into CAPRA, let us talk about what's new in Apex. I know Apex is moving and shaking and moving warehouses. Just
yes,
recently,
I'm like, we are literally moving.
literally moving. So what's new in Apex, Carlee?
Yeah, so we haven't really told a ton of people, but we packed up at our previous facility late last week. I guess everything got packed Friday. Van and I left for a match late Friday. Van shot all weekend. I was in the match for the 2 days. We got home late Sunday night. First thing Monday morning, we were at the new warehouse. We unpacked more than a dozen skids of things. It was a busy day and got all the shelves stocked, all those things. Also, last week we did get a shipment of Rivals, Rival X's, and binoculars as well. So I know a lot of people are waiting for those. They've been waiting for the 15 Pros and all those great things.
Nice.
So we are fully stocked on everything right now, which is really incredible. We do have a couple of new accessories that are going to launch on the website here in the next week or so. Yeah, so I mean, moving facilities. We've got a great facility in Calgary. We're going to be able to offer local pickups. So if you're in Calgary or coming through Calgary or any of those kinds of things, you can save yourself the shipping and all of that and have local pickup Monday to Friday, which we're really excited about. Another really big, exciting announcement for us is that we are now in all 16 Cabela's stores across Canada.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
congratulations.
which is huge for our company. We're very excited. The folks at Cabela's Canada have been great. They were great about supporting our match. They've been just supportive of us as a Canadian company as well. And it's been a great partnership. We started in a small amount of stores and now we're in all 16, which is pretty incredible. The funny thing about that, though, is a friend of ours went into Cabela's Calgary a week or two ago, and he saw the Rival in the showcase, and he's pointing at it, and he was really excited. And the sales guys were like, "Oh, let me tell you about this." He's like, "No, like we've got 3," and he's like, "I actually know the owners," and the guy's like, "Yeah, sure you do." So. Yeah,
nice.
They're friends of ours. Like, no, like I've been to their house. They've been to mine. It's like, sure. But yeah, no. So that was exciting, and I mean, they were excited for us because they're like, "Oh my goodness, like look at this. This is it's a pretty big deal." So
That is a big deal. That's awesome.
We've got that. We're settled into our new facility. We got a couple more days of just kind of unpacking and getting everything just so. If anybody knows me, they know that I like things to be very organized and easy to find, a place for everything and everything in its place. So we've got that. Also, while we are simultaneously deep into match prep, the bed of our pickup is full of steel right now that I haven't unpacked yet. So we'll probably do that after this or tomorrow morning. So yeah, we are full in prep for the Apex Rocky Mountain Challenge PRS Pro Series qualifier match in July. So we're pretty excited about that as well. And
Just
a whole bunch
around
of
the
kind of,
corner.
yeah, I know we've got like some new stuff kind of with the match this year as well. So yeah.
That's good. You guys don't have a trailer yet? An enclosed trailer with a quad?
Well, funny that you should say that, actually. We purchased ourselves quite a large enclosed cargo trailer.
Nice.
Yes, so that I'm like, I want a cargo trailer because I don't want to load the
Yeah.
steel out of the garage into the truck, off of the
Yep.
truck, and
Yep.
off and back into the truck and back into the garage. I'm like, I only have to move steel in and out of the trailer once a year. And it will be great. So just to be able to have all of that again in one place, actually a portable storage unit, I'm like, it's crazy. I'm like,
it's a game changer.
It's a rite of passage for a match director. Once you get to a certain point, you have to get a trailer.
Yeah, I'm just like, the garage is full of timers and radios and hangers and all those kinds of things. I'm just like, yeah, it's time. It's time to do that for the match. I'm like, well, it's only the second year hosting the match. We're already like, no, this needs to
yeah, this needs to change.
Yeah, so
something's got to change.
Yeah, we were smart enough to get ourselves a trailer that we could grow into, and one that we know we can fit, props we'll use every year, like our PRS wall and stuff like that for the skills stage. So because Anna and my dad built a custom one last year with like our logo and everything. So
nice.
So yes, that is very exciting. We're also doing a train up day on the Friday of our match. So if you're interested in maybe trying center fire for the first time, I think it's a great opportunity for rimfire shooters or new shooters in general. We're only a half hour from Calgary for our match, so we're close to a large center. But on the Friday afternoon, you can come out and pay your $50 and shoot 4 or 5 stages and give it a go and see if it's something you want to do, or if you are diving into this for the first time and want to kind of give it a shot before you go full throttle into the match on Saturday morning. It's a great opportunity to do that. I know that even though we are a Pro Series qualifier match, we do have a lot of new shooters that are coming out, especially because we are so close to a major center. So we definitely welcome everybody.
That's awesome.
That's one of the keys to growing your bases. I find like we whenever I was doing matches, we would do like a clinic on the Saturday, so all the new shooters could come out, hone their skills, see what it's all about, and then on the Sunday they would go in their match, right? So having that practice time, I think, is really key to growing the base in the local area.
Absolutely. We've had a couple out at CDTSA or the Milo range near Calgary. I think there's another one on Saturday, and we had one a few weeks ago that Donnie Masong and Cheyenne Pop have been running, just intros to PRS. I think they might be doing both rimfire and centerfire because I know they shoot both disciplines. But I will say, I mean, rimfire is the gateway to the sport. It's the fastest growing discipline in the entire precision rifle series. It's the fastest growing sport worldwide because you don't need as much space, and ammo is significantly less expensive. You don't need to reload. Your barrel life lasts so much longer. So we're really seeing that a lot of people are, starting with rimfire, and some of them are just sticking to rimfire because, they just love it, or it's a great way to come out and your whole family can do it. It's an easier way to start kids. You can start when you're 8 with a 22 instead of, like a 6.5 Creed or a 6BR or something like that. So it's been
rimfire is for the people that hate money. Centerfire is for the people that really hate money.
But mind you, I mean, some of these rimfire rigs, they're about the same. The only thing that they really have going is the ammunition and the
barrels.
I mean, otherwise, I mean, they're in it. Just
your scope is your scope, your chassis is your chassis, right?
Pretty much, yeah. And I know some guys that run identical setups in both disciplines, so that it's fully transferable. Which, I mean, I think is honestly really smart. But that's spendy.
Ouch. There's a big drag there.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, are you guys showcasing new Apex items at
Yes.
those cleanup days?
Kind of. So we announced at SHOT Show our new Vapor, which is our 1-to-4 variable zoom prism sight. It is the
Nice.
first of its kind on the market. We're really excited about it. It's going to be available mid to late summer, but we will have it on display at our match. I had it on display at a match a few weeks ago. I didn't bring it out to Medicine Hat with me this time, but we will have it on display in July here in Calgary,
Nice.
and then periodically throughout the season and that kind of thing, and should be, like I said, available mid to late summer. We're really excited. We have people bugging us to open it up for pre-order. So we're just basically crossing the T's and dotting the I's and making sure we've got everything filed for all of our IP stuff and everything with every fine detail figured out with the factory, and then
Nice.
we'll be going full production and everything will be available. So
By the container load.
yes, honestly, yeah. I love unpacking pallets. Actually, I do. It's really exciting. It's like it's fun. It's pretty cool to have like created something, and you designed the box, in Illustrator, and then you see it in person. It's a physical, tangible
3D.
thing.
Yeah.
That came out of your mind, and there it is. It's pretty incredible, honestly. So yeah, and we were demoing some new prototypes for some things that are going to be coming out, hopefully getting announced later this year. We were demoing, Van was running them through some paces at the match last weekend. It's like no better time than in these conditions to be, testing everything out.
That is so vague, Carlee.
I know. I'm so
we were testing things that we tried out at the match. The people.
I know. I am hoping though that we will have a few like smaller announcements for products. Nothing crazy sexy.
I'm just kidding.
Before the end of the month. And then we're hoping to do kind of like a mid-year product announcement as well, which isn't something we usually do. Usually be like, oh, okay, well, they said everything they need to say, so I guess let's wait till SHOT Show in January. We're not going to do that this year, just because we have been waiting on a couple of things, and so we're hoping that we can announce something maybe late summer, early fall. So we're excited about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a mailing list or subscribe?
We do, yeah. You can subscribe to our email list on our website. We always notify our email list of all our new products every time something comes back into stock. Where you can find your closest stocking dealer, because I know sometimes people don't want to wait to have something shipped to them, or they want to go check it out in person, or they want to see the difference between some of our products. Our dealer list is available on our website. You can get our products from Testro as well. Say that because show sponsor. But yeah, we like to showcase our dealers as well in our email list. So we're like, oh man, they're just down the street. Now I'm just gonna go pick it up now. So yes, and our red dots have been doing very well. We have one of our team members was at Steel Challenge World Championships last week and came in 3rd overall in the world, which is pretty incredible.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah. So yeah, our optics have been winning a lot. We took 7 of the trophies last weekend in Medicine Hat, which is pretty great. We took 3rd overall, top marksman, top semi-pro, top amateur, top production, top junior, and top lady.
Holy crap!
Yeah, it was pretty overwhelming for us. I mean, and especially too because that match is effectively where our company kind of was born. That was the first match Van had ever shot. And that was where we decided that, we needed to do this. And so to come back to that match and to see our team be so successful is awesome. A pretty incredible full circle moment for us.
You guys
of all the matches, that one always
nicest looking team out there.
Thank you. Yeah, we have some great team members. All our team members are great. I shouldn't say we have some great team members.
Yeah. And then now all of these team members. So jumping from Apex to organizing, obviously it's been, we've been running this since 2018. Now the sport's matured that we've got World Championships, the first one taking place in Italy.
Yes.
And now the next one is in Great Britain this fall in August, right?
Yes.
Late summer, I guess. Yeah.
So for those of you that aren't familiar with the International Precision Rifle Federation, or the IPRF, they were founded in 2019, I believe, or 2020, and then had World Championships. The first one was the centerfire in France in 2022, followed by the first Rimfire World Championships in Italy in 2023. We were in Colorado at the Cameo Shooting Complex in September last year for Centerfire World Championships. And then this year we will be at the West Midlands Shooting Center in Great Britain. This is the first time that Canada has sent will be sending a full roster for the Rimfire World Championships, and
That's
we're very
awesome.
excited about it.
Yeah. It's, again, we're so early in our growth that there's so many lessons to be learned still.
100%.
But it's awesome that we've got a full team that can take advantage of the previous World Championships, and now we're going to build on that strength, and
Yes.
our shooters are just getting better and better as time goes on. So,
well, and that's
yeah,
exactly what it is, Rick.
I'm anxious to see.
We learned so much from Italy.
Yeah. It's not just shooting.
No, it's not just shooting. And I think the other thing too is I know that when we were in Colorado last year for Centerfire, and then now it's starting to, people are starting to kind of wonder going into August this year, is Canada was kind of that nation that nobody really saw coming. Everybody sees, the US, has the matches and the facilities and the history with the sport and those kinds of things. But look at Canada in the Olympics. We are one of the most underfunded countries when it comes to Olympic sport and things like that. But yet somehow we show up and we podium and we excel and we blow everybody's minds. Like we just, knock socks off everybody. And we did that in Colorado. We really, really surprised some people. And I said, just wait till Great Britain, because I know there are guys on that team that they want a rematch from Italy. They were like, we did not perform our best and we're not catching up anymore. We are going toe to toe and we are coming for you. And it's pretty exciting to see. I'm really, really excited for the event. It's going to be great.
Well, we appreciate all you're doing to make that happen.
I've been talking to some of the guys too, and the preparation that they're putting into it is pretty detailed. Like going down to the point of, hey, the UK is a really wet place to shoot. How's my bag going to hold up there? Maybe we should think of using some different materials for bags, specifically to make sure that my bag doesn't turn into a giant clump of sand. You might lose some performance on the material, but you're going to gain it in not being wet. So people are already thinking of like that level of detail, which is great.
It's incredible, honestly. I mean, and trying to find places that are similar terrain, or, I mean, if you can go over there, if you have the money to be able to go over there and shoot at that facility prior to August, I mean, good on you. But trying to get, our team for Team Canada this year, and we do this every year at CAPRA, is we have a team chat. And as soon as the roster is announced, we start this team chat. And we have 2 team chats, one for logistics and things like that for the people that, can't open their phone and have 150 unread messages, because we all know that happens. So, that's a thing. But we have one where it's like, hey, I heard there's going to be a lot of stages like this. How are you preparing for it? Or I was doing this in practice last weekend, and I'm finding that at the match that I went to afterwards, those particular fundamentals were very helpful. Does anybody want my training regimen? Does anybody want to train together? Or, hey, I got, some land that we can go and practice, or, who's going to this match? So maybe we can squad together and, really start building up that team energy, those types of things. And, the gear thing is another thing, like the bags. I've been to MKM in Pennsylvania a number of times because Apex is the regional title sponsor for the Northeast region and the Precision Rifle Series, and they have a lot of their finales there. And I've only been to MKM once where the weather is nice. Otherwise, it is what I call scooshy mud, and it's raining and it's ridiculous. And I've watched guys, they bring 2 bags and they leave a dry one in their car, and they go and they get it at lunch and they swap them out. So they always have a dry bag because it's just constant. But thinking about those considerations, how can I bring a tripod? How can I bring this? How do I pack this? Should I bring a backup rifle? Could 2 of us share a backup rifle? Just having to be able to do those things and, talk to team members. I mean, when we went to Colorado, it was a lot easier because it's like, okay, who's flying and who's driving? If we're driving, what gear can I take for people so they're not overweight on their luggage? But we're all flying. So we've got to really kind of, think a lot of these things through just a little bit more than, if it were in North America.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the beautiful part is, to have these conversations now, there's so much about learning that's taken place, and there's still more to come, but it's there's a real momentum. I think that's been built.
I
And
would say
I
so.
think we'll do very well because of it. I mean, we'll never perform as well as we hope.
Well,
You
that's
know,
any
just
athlete,
the reality of
right?
it.
Even when
Exactly.
they win, it's like, oh, but I left some points
Yeah,
on the table and I missed those
yeah,
impacts.
yeah,
I
Should
could
have
have
held
beat them
that edge,
worse.
you know?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But again,
Yeah,
it's not a one and done. It's a long road that we're on, and we're
absolutely.
building that team so that we can kind of remove those little hurdles that pop up,
Absolutely.
and to be this mature about it in our second at bat is amazing. And I think everyone should recognize the effort that you guys are doing as organizers and logistics management, you
Yeah.
know,
Well,
to
I mean,
kind of
one of
pave
the things
pave
we
the
did
pave the
is
potholes.
yeah, it's been crazy. And it is a lot. It is a lot of work to, I mean, corral this year. So for Rimfire, it's a team of 22, which I think is kind of cute.
Oof.
But we went to everybody that shot in Italy in 2023.
Yeah,
And not just from Team Canada. We asked some people from other countries who had gone too, what would you have done differently? How could we improve? What was missing? What would have made your match day easier? And how can we do that?
yeah,
And we took a lot of those lessons into Colorado last year for Centerfire, and it really helped. It helped us like leap ahead a fair bit more. And I think
right,
now we learned a lot because the whole board was in Colorado, which was really helpful. So we learned a lot of things.
nice.
Even we're partway through the event in Colorado, and we're like, okay, so in Great Britain, we're doing this differently. Here's how we're going to spin this differently in Great Britain. Here's how we're going to handle this. Like we were already strategizing for
Yeah,
August of 2025 before we'd even left Cameo and before people
nice.
had even stopped shooting the match. We already had it in our minds how we were going to help manage the team differently, how we were going to try and set them up for success a little bit more than we were able to do last year and those kinds of things. And I mean, it is a volunteer position. I mean, all 5 of us
Yeah,
are volunteers. We talk daily. It's very strange if no one puts something in a group chat. And
yeah,
48 hours goes by. It's like, we're all still here, right? So, we're always looking for ways that we can help the team and things that we can do just to allow everybody to kind of put their best foot forward. And the team has been great. They've been really receptive. We've got a lot of fundraising efforts.
oh
You
yeah,
can find everything at CanadaPrecisionRifle.com. That's the CAPRA website. We post the qualification standards. We post for, I think, all the way through to 2027. We have them posted right now. We've got our sticker draws. We've got official team apparel that you can buy and those kinds of things. So also on our socials, what we've been doing is, doing shooter profiles. You can get to know the other shooters that are on the team. Because I mean, we're coast to coast. We are more spread out than any other team going to a world championship. And, we're in these little pockets of places where, unless there's a national finale that everybody ends up at, we don't see each other all that often. And so, this is an undertaking to be able to create a team environment with this much of, geography heading into an event like this. But we were able to do it, I would say, fairly successfully last year. And I think we're going to
yeah.
try and take it even further this year.
No, it's good. It's to be that mature about it already is a great sign, and it's only going to get better and better. And I think people have to understand that is a growing process. You have to grow into it, and it's not going to be perfect, but the intent is to get there. So
I
good,
can
good for
really
you guys.
appreciate you saying that. I mean, we're never going to please everybody, and we're always trying to
Yeah,
do our best, and we're always trying to learn and really focus on that continuous improvement year over year.
yeah,
We're really trying to, as an organization, a lot of people are like, well, I don't really know much about CAPRA, and I feel like you guys don't really like communicate with us. So like, unless I see one of you at a match, I don't really know. And so we've had a lot of that feedback, and
yeah.
we taken it very seriously. We met last week, actually. And one of the things that we want to do is at a minimum biannual virtual town halls. So
Right.
anybody in the shooting
Cool.
community that wants to come on to these virtual town halls that we're going to host, we'll record them.
Right.
So people, if they're working or whatever and couldn't make it, you can submit ahead of time or submit them in the chat. We want to
Yeah.
address
Nice.
questions, concerns, learn how we can do better for the community as a whole, and those kinds of things. We want to it's a very new organization. The IPRF is a new organization and still has a
Yeah.
lot of maturing to do as well. But I think CAPRA's come a long way. We are also the only IPRF nation that fundraises for its athletes.
That's crazy.
The only one. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, I feel like you don't really fundraise a lot. I'm like, we fundraise a ton. It might not be a ton because a lot of times, the fundraising is getting split 22 or 30 ways, depending on the cycle. But we are the only organization that does fundraise for its athletes. We've had some really generous donations. We're also starting to work with Project Maple Seed, which I know you know a lot about, Rick, because I can't remember what Kelly Lynn told me, and I'm so sorry. I think there are 8 shooters. I could be wrong. It's either like 7 or 12, or I think 8 is the number, on Team Canada that started at Project Maple Seed, which I think is an incredibly wonderful thing that we need to share. Because did you ever think that when you started with that program that you were going to end up on your national team competing at a world championship for Canada? I think that is, pretty remarkable, honestly. And, Project Maple Seed has been really generous to help our athletes as well. We are going to be actually showcasing a lot more of that in the coming months, just to show how, you can get from that introductory grassroots program up to that level. We're going to be sharing the journeys of those shooters and, really promoting those events so that more people can get involved in the sports. One other thing that I should mention as well, I could talk for hours about this, I apologize, is that we are going to be implementing a leaderboard that we hopefully update at a minimum once a month, maybe twice a month, or maybe we'll eventually get to where we could update it weekly, but that's a lot of work because there's a lot of matches and we have a lot of shooters. But to be able to have a leaderboard going, so when you're trying to qualify for Team Canada, you're not like, well, I hope I have a lot of points at the end of the year and I got it. Whereas, if we have a leaderboard and people can see that, you know what, I need to pull up my socks, I need to practice, and I need to get another couple matches in here to make sure that I get the spot that I want and that I can perform.
That's awesome.
Level. I think giving people that feedback that they need to be able to properly prepare for that is the next step that CAPRA needs to take. And I would say something like that will be implemented in the next 3 to 6 months. I'm saying 3 to 6 months because we are heavy into match season now. I mean, the Canadian match season is so condensed compared to a lot of other places. People are like, oh, well, I already have like 300 PRS points. I'm like, yeah, because you started shooting in January. Like, we just had our first 2-day match last weekend.
Yeah.
And, like a match in April is, well, fingers crossed it doesn't snow.
I know.
Not a hot chocolate sponsorship.
It's like we have 3 to 4 good shooting months.
Yes.
And another 1 or 2 possibly okay, not gonna kill you weather months.
Well, I mean, we have a couple of regions where they can start earlier and finish a bit later, but I mean, then we're also finishing later. We're up against finales and we're up against hunting season and those kinds of things. So if we have regions where you can start earlier, I know that we can start earlier in BC, a couple pockets of Southern Ontario if we're lucky, but even sometimes I know you, Rick, have had a couple of matches that, there's been blizzards. It's like, I'm sorry, it's 40 below. No.
Yeah, we're in match 6 of the year, and every single one has started off in rain.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then it's been not a great start to the year. So hopefully June is the one where just it's all sunshine and blue skies.
You're preparing people to shoot in Great Britain.
I know, but I'm there too. I'm not going to Great Britain.
Okay, that's true.
I want the easy button.
That's fair.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I said, look, I always tell everyone, for you to appreciate the really nice weather, you got to shoot in weather like this. So think of it as prepping you for a really, really big smile on your face when the sun comes out eventually. So
eventually, yeah. But then people complain that they're too hot, and
I know. Well, Travis has had the hottest match on record for us. It was high 30s.
Maybe it was 42 degrees with the Humidex, but we've also probably had the windiest and up there in the top 3 of the wettest. It just anytime I host a match, it's either 40 degrees. One day we had 40 mils of rain, and the other time it was like 50 kilometer an hour winds, I think, something like that. Yeah, it was awesome.
It's been rough.
It was low 40s when Van and I were setting up for our match last year, but it's dry, right? We don't have that humidity, so yeah, I mean, you're sweating, but it's evaporating like immediately. But yeah, it was low 40s. We were in the high 30s for every day of our match. It was hot.
Ooh. Dropping like flies. Hydrate.
Yes, and
Gatorade.
we had tents at every stage, just
Nice.
to be sure, because we're like, well, it's either going to be really, really hot or it's going to rain and it's going to suck. So we're like, either way, you're covered. So, but Costco ran out of Gatorade.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
But I mean, we had pretty much enough. But I mean, we had lots of water. Water wasn't an issue. But by the end of day one, it was like, well, we have 7 bottles of Gatorade left. So.
Oh my.
Well, there's always that saying, is it calm days have never made a skilled sailor? Well, nice days have never made a skilled shooter. So it applies.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, you got to overcome adversity to get those impacts. And
suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah. But I mean, it sucks for everybody. So, I mean,
that's it. Everyone's shooting under the same conditions. Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's when you find what gear, what doesn't, what part of your gear doesn't work.
Yes. So. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to bring some more clubs online for the PRS Rimfire series, and I'm like, oh, like, is there any way that we could start a little bit earlier? It's like, I live in Manitoba, right? I'm like, I know you're in the tundra and that it'll melt and it's mosquitoes, but is there anywhere in there? And I'm like, nobody hates loading bags in cold weather more than I do. So, I mean, I get it, but I'm like, so what do you think about April? It's like, it's a maybe.
Yeah.
So, just we have that really condensed season. When I sit down and I look at the match schedule of everything that we have just in the prairies. So the new PRS Foothills region, we stretch from Fernie Cranbrook in the west all the way to the Manitoba-Ontario border. So, and then everything north of the 49th parallel there. So we've got matches across the prairies and into Fernie. Now, Fernie is quite mild, so they can start a fair bit earlier than we do. I mean, they have people that can camp year-round there, which is lovely. So that is a club that is going to be growing, especially in the rimfire space, which is fantastic. Saskatchewan, it's hit or miss. Some of the members of Team Apex that I saw at a match in early May, when they left Saskatchewan to come and it was Mother's Day weekend, they still had snow on the ground. So that doesn't make it awesome for putting in T-post.
No.
Just in case anyone was wondering. So, and I know, Valley Precision has a lot of matches out in Manitoba as well, but again, a compressed season. Again, and some of that land too. This is my oil and gas background talking, but it's a bit like spring breakup. You can't, just because the snow melted, then you got to wait because you can't get on it because it's too marshy.
Yeah.
So, we're still trying to grow that. We've got some more rimfire matches coming online in Saskatchewan. And Saskatchewan can get a really beautiful early spring, or they could still have snow on the ground. They could also have a late summer. So it might be one of those things that things kind of go and they ebb and flow going year to year, just with what our climate will allow. And the PRS has been really good about that, because they're like, you guys have a lot. Like, well, why can't you have a match here? I'm like, can't. I'm like, we pack most people's seasons into mid-April to mid-October and kind of hope for the best. Yeah. So, I mean, I live in Calgary. We could have snow we have snow almost every May long weekend. We'll get snow on Labor Day or things like that. It's once August long weekend comes, you feel the wind is different. Yeah. So, to have to shoot in those things. We've got some small clubs outside of Calgary, but again, it's sometimes what if we get a huge dump of snow because we're in the foothills and, getting out to the rain. So, I mean, kudos to those match directors that are signing up to host matches. It's been really great. We've had a lot of people be like, you know what, like, I'm going to step up and I'm going to do this. Van and I hosted a match last year. We hosted a PRS Pro Series 2-day centerfire match. We'd never done it before. We'd been to plenty of matches, and like everything else in life, we kind of just, went like head first into the deep end. And one of the reasons that we did it was to be like, this isn't rocket science. There's no secret. It's not this like secret exclusive club. Like, join us, will you? Like, just to open the door and, get more people involved in, the match scene and just being match directors. We've had a lot of new match directors step up this year, which is really exciting. And I think, just hosting a one-day rimfire match, especially it's easier. It's less expensive. A lot of times you can do it at an actual like CFO approved range. You don't need the private land that you would need for the scale of a center fire match, just because everything is within like a smaller distance. It's an easier way to grow the sport. The investment just initially is less as well. And also too, I mean, with impact scoring coming online, which has been fantastic, you don't have match directors needing to buy tablets anymore. They can run everything off of their phone if they want. If they think it's going to drain their battery, you know, you just buy a bunch of power banks off Amazon to have for all of your ROs and stuff. And it makes it a lot easier. So it's just one fewer barrier to entry for match directors now and new match directors, which is fantastic. I mean, the guys that started impact scoring, they're shooters as well. So to see these members of the community seeing where things are missing and how they can help, you know, have some influence in growing the sport as well and help removing some of the barriers, I think is honestly, it's really great.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest change in matches since practice score came about, you know. We haven't played around with it yet just because the volume. I mean, we have a match every weekend up until the second week in September.
Yeah.
So to kind of relearn, I'll do it in the off season. It kind of came in late, but everyone's raving about it. I know
it's
some of the
fantastic. What's really great is their support. So if you know you could reach out to them and be like, I want to do this. I got a match this weekend, and they'd be like, yeah, let's talk. Let's help you figure this out. Let's give you support where you need it. The thing that's great about it is when the match is over, the scoring is there. So you don't have to sync tablets. There's none of that. You don't like arbitration starts now and those kinds of things. So it really simplifies a lot of those things and those headaches for a match director. And just the fact that they are also, you know, shooters and match directors and want to support the community is also really helpful.
That's great. That's good. It's if there was an easy way to set up steel, then we'd be all done with the pain points of match directing.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, in the States, they have so many of those facilities where they can set up a pile of steel and they have a ton of like props that are in concrete, and then they just alternate props, have a different configuration of props and steel for matches. We're not there yet in Canada. I do feel like we are moving kind of in that direction. I mean, the boys out in Stittsville, they've been doing really good work, you know, with having monthly matches and trying to, you know, get something like that going and moving a bit more towards, you know, some permanence there, which is great. But, you know, when a lot of these clubs aren't just PRS or PRS, you know, center fire, rimfire clubs, they have a whole host of other disciplines as well. And they've got a lot of other, you know, like legacy club members. It's hard to be like, well, you need to set up this whole area just for this sport. That takes a little bit.
It's a big ask. Yeah,
it is a big ask. But I think we're seeing a lot of movement towards that. I think that a lot of these clubs really like our community, and they're seeing that what we are doing for the community and the shooting community, and to try and actually grow shooting sports, which is really great. So I think that's been helpful as well, just kind of winning over hearts and minds.
For sure. Plus the number of youth shooters that enjoy that kind of dynamic, not just sitting on the bench and doing this. It's there's a clock running and there's different positions, and it's challenging. You know, it's for kids that need to be active. It's a great way to keep them physically and mentally occupied. You know, and when they're just starting out, we have the stealth class, which can, you know, you can change the string of fire if you need to. So recognizing that not all youth shooters are the same level of development. You know, if you need, you know, a guardian to position your rifle for you and hold it steady while you're pulling a trigger, that's okay. You know, as long as you can safely manipulate a rifle, then you're okay.
Exactly.
So it's a starting point. Yeah.
Well, and I think that's the other thing too, is just like you're saying with the youth shooters, I think a lot of people are seeing families coming out to these clubs and coming out to these matches and trying these sports as a family, which is incredible. It's something they can do to get out on the weekend or things like that. We do see a lot of father-daughter duos. I feel like a lot of the juniors in Canada are girls, which is great. I think it's pretty awesome. But we've seen a lot of growth in the junior program. We've seen a lot of growth in the ladies program as well. So
That's good. It's when they start catching up the dad's score, the dad gets a little nervous, happy but nervous.
Yeah, speaking of
So
juniors, yeah,
there you go.
I mean,
Yeah.
we do have a junior on Team Apex that has been beating his dad quite handily for at least the last year or two as well. So, and I mean,
Yeah.
that's one of those things too that you see these young kids, and then we kind of watch them grow up, and especially when we have
Yeah.
almost like that 6 month off season where we don't see them, and it's like, oh my goodness, like
Yeah.
you grew a foot in the
What
last
happened?
6
Yeah, I
months.
know.
I saw you at the finale.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, but it's been incredible to watch those journeys
Yeah.
as well. Just I think for all of us. So, and I mean,
And as
there's
parents, that's what we want, right?
it is
That's our hope, is that our kids love it and they grow into it, and they go further than, we've given them the base. Had we started when they started, we would have loved that opportunity, knowing that we know about our passion for the sport. So it's
100%.
awesome to be able to do that. So
Yeah. I feel like you guys have a whole host more of Rimfire juniors out east than we do. Growing the Rimfire space is one of those things that we're, actively trying to do in the prairies. And I feel like juniors are one of the ways to really grow that sport. People always ask me, how can I get more women involved in shooting? I don't speak for all women just because I'm a woman, but a lot of times is if you can get the mom of a family into it and interested or in some way a part of that, or if she's looking for every second Saturday where she can just have some time to herself, then the dad can take the kids to the range and those kinds of things, depending on your family dynamic. So, we see all sorts of those things with different families. It's been really great.
The other ways with the college and university students, right? They're branching off from home. They're looking for new hobbies. I volunteered with Canadian University Shooting Federation for years. So that was a really big source of new shooters. And like my goal when I was there is like, let's get all these people licensed, because once you get your PAL, chances of staying in the shooting sports are pretty high. Yeah. Right. So let's get your PAL. Let's have range days, come out, try different things. What are you interested in? Are you interested in shotgun? Are you interested in rimfire? Are you interested in, military, whatever it is? Let's just get you out to the range and get shooting. And whenever I would do an event, it would be probably 50-50 men and women, split right down the middle. And everybody, it was a really great way to grow the sport.
It really is. I mean, we actually reached out to all of the university shooting clubs kind of in Alberta, or at least Western Canada, to invite them to come to our match, or even train to be a range officer, or if they wanted to volunteer for the weekend and just kind of immerse themselves in our sport and see kind of what it's all about, or, kind of get a feel for it, or if they wanted to come out for train up day, or maybe they did want to shoot the match, or like I said, even be a range officer to learn it from that perspective. So a lot of those university clubs really are a great way to do that. And I think they're an untapped resource for our community. They're this pocket of people that might be slightly disconnected that we could be pulling into these sports.
Yeah. It's because they're looking for their hobbies for the next stage of their lives, right?
Absolutely. It's really funny that you say that. Having spent some time in the southern US in the winter, we had a lot of people talk to us about what they call like lifetime sports. So it's one of those things that if you play something like football in high school and college and those types of things, unless you really go pro, there isn't as much necessarily for that sport. And then it also probably isn't something that you still want to be doing when you're 55 or 65. Whereas something, like maybe, I don't know, pickleball or golf or things like that. But shooting sports are definitely something that you can pick up when you're, under 10 years old, and something that you can do well into your golden years and still really enjoy it. Maybe you switch disciplines. Maybe the dynamic sports aren't as much for you and you just eventually move on to bench rest, or, those types of things. Or maybe, that kind of, math and physics is really for you. Then maybe bench rest is just for you start and stay. Those types of things. But at least this is a forever sport. It is something that you can do in some variation for a significant part of your life. I think a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah, no.
I mean, there's a seniors category. It starts at 55. So
there was a senior was talking to me. They need a super senior category over 70.
You know what? I wouldn't hate that. I think that would be pretty good because you know what? I bet you the guys that would be in that are still like absolute top of their game. It kind of makes me think your Dan played in a Calgary Flames charity hockey tournament and he's a goalie. And I think it was Lanny McDonald skated up and took a shot on him. And he was like, oh my God. He's like, the guy hasn't lost a beat. You're just still that good. You know when to time, you know,
exactly.
The shot, all of those things, right? It's one of those things. It's muscle memory and all of that. And if you're still keeping up with it, why not? Why not be a super senior?
Yeah. Because it's not a function of strength, right? It's all about how still you are and how well you can calculate wind.
Absolutely. I think that's
you might not be able to do 12 positions in minute 45, but whatever shots you take, you'll make hits on, right?
Well, that's just it. I mean, and I think that is one of the things that I like so much about shooting sports is they really are an equal playing field. There's a physiological difference doesn't necessarily matter because you can get a rifle that's tailored for you. You can choose a caliber that works better for you. You can find a way to be on that prop that works better for your body based on your body type, your height, any of those things in a way that you just can't in other sports. Even co-ed sports. It really is perfectly equal. I've seen a lot of young girls win top junior, top lady, and first overall at some matches. Like they are a force to be reckoned with.
Yep.
And they're beating men who are incredibly experienced in the United States.
Yes.
So, I mean,
it's coming. The wave is coming.
Oh, it's coming.
I keep seeing Dory keeps beating Matt from time to time.
Yes.
It's awesome.
I think I'll quote every comment section I see is Dory is a beast.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, there's just an example, right? I mean, she started this sport a lot later than he did and really dove in, really immersed herself. I mean, she lives with probably one of the best shooters in the world, arguably, that could coach her on this. And, she put in the time, she put in the effort, and you're seeing her fly up the leaderboard just based on the skill and the time that she has put into this. And I mean, she had an opportunity, she took it, and she has worked her backside off to be where she is. She's
100%.
earned every impact.
It's awesome to see.
It is. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. People have no idea what it takes to shoot that well.
No, it's really
practice.
don't.
You have to grind at it. It takes
that's
repetition. It takes constant error correction and refinement. It's not a gear race. It's not only a gear race. I mean, a great gear will get you 1 or 2 points in a match.
Yeah.
The rest you got to earn fair and square.
Absolutely.
So it's awesome.
Yeah.
To give you an idea, like I support both Matt and Dory with bags, and they're the only 2 shooters who have worn out bags for me. That's how much they dry fire, right? Like they're probably doing it every night, and it's like it's awesome to see the dedication to the sport.
Well, that's the thing. I think a lot of people don't necessarily realize the time that goes into this behind the scenes. It isn't just going to the range, and it isn't just shooting matches. I mean, the dry fire, the dry land training. Estelle, who shot for Team Canada last year, and she's shooting again for Team Canada this year, was like, this is a lot of gear. And I'm going to be on the side of a mountain, and I don't know if I'm going to have somebody that can help me carry all of this. And she trained all of 2024 leading up to the World Championships in September, doing dry land training, carrying her pack, carrying all her gear. You offer her a shuttle ride at a match. She's like, no, I got this. I have to train. I have to be able to do this. So you're seeing these people putting in the time at the gym, like they're an NHL hockey player doing these things, right? In the off season that people just aren't seeing because it's like practice is so much more. This is a legitimate sport. These are legitimate leagues. We now have a global governing body. You can take this all the way. And, we're a long way from shooting cans in a backyard here. And the amount of effort that people are putting in for the actual athleticism of this is pretty astounding. So people are like, well, what do you call like all the shooters on Team Canada? So we call them our athletes. We have 22 athletes going to Great Britain. That is what
These
they
are
are.
world class athletes representing Canada on the world stage.
There's always going to be a John Daly somewhere, right? That's good, just doesn't do anything, but it's just awesome. But the other 95% of us, you got to put the time in.
100%.
That was my career aspiration. I was going to be the John Daly. It didn't work out.
You're the John Daly of match directing.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, some people are just naturally really gifted with this. And some people, you know, I've heard it. It's like, oh, well, that kid shoots really well because he lives on a farm. Well, you have the opportunity. Whether or not that kid took the opportunity to go and practice every day is a whole other story.
There are lots of kids on farms all across Canada.
Yeah, playing Xbox.
Not all of them are shooting for Team Canada.
No, exactly.
That's
so
wild,
the ones that we have done a lot to qualify. They have they had to really raise their game just to qualify for Team Canada. And now, you know, they are doing everything they can to train for Great Britain so that they can do their best. A lot of people I don't think necessarily know, but in the World Championships, there are individual placements for first through third for every category and discipline. But there are team medals first through third for how every country places in each category or discipline as well. And Canada came home with a lot of medals, a lot of team medals, one individual placement at World Championships in Colorado last year for centerfire. But we had a lot of team medals, and we had a lot of members who got those team medals who were a little bit sore that they weren't higher up the podium. And so those things and that competitive drive and always being like, okay, in 2 years, I got this is pretty impressive.
Yep. You don't want to be that guy.
Yeah. Everybody, I mean, so there's 4 in each, except for open has 6, but we drop the bottom score. They take the top 3 scores and they drop the bottom one. And that's what you get for your team average for that that category. Nobody wants to be the score that gets dropped.
No, you don't. Yeah. You want to help bring it in. You want to be the relay. You want to be the last runner in the relay, just catching up to people.
Exactly. You want to be the anchor. That's what you want to do. And I think that's one of the things that we're seeing is there is a divide when it comes to qualification in Canada. So we have a minimum 5 matches that people need to shoot. And people are like, oh, I just got to get to 5 matches. I got to get to 5 matches. And I'm like, oh, you're missing the spirit of what CAPRA is trying to propose for qualifications. What we want are your best 5 matches. We want you to shoot more than that so that you can drop a few, because everybody, no matter where you are on the leaderboard, has a bad day. You need to be able to drop some of those matches, and we want it to be an aggregate of your 5 best. We don't want it to be like, okay, well, if I get my 5, I'm good, or oh, if I got to get to 5. It's like, no, for this level, we want you to be choosing your best 5 to really, showcase your talent, because really this is best on best.
It shows dedication to the sport as well.
That too. And, we've had a lot of people ask us, they're like, oh, well, there's multipliers for qualification for the finales. Like, I don't know if that seems fair. And I'm like, I believe it actually absolutely does seem fair, because the goal is to incentivize a shooter to go to events like that against the best people in North America and, really see where they stack up, raise their level, learn from the other shooters in their squad, and get better as a shooter and see where they stack up, because chances are those are the people you're going to be stacking up against in a world championship as well. And especially in Rimfire, a world championship is a 2-day event. And the only time we really see a 2-day event is usually a finale. Otherwise, they're 1-day events. So it is, again, something that we really need to test your limits and push our team forward so that we really are getting to that next level.
Yeah. And I think as more and more shooters enter the competitive world, 5 is going to be the minimum, because I think everyone's going to need to, if you take the best 5, someone's going to just do that 6. Then you're going to have to do 7. Then someone's going to have to do 8.
That's
just to drop the shit. And I think it's just naturally going to happen so now we've got a full team. Yeah. That means that there are people who've submitted that didn't make it, and they're twice as hungry now to make the team the next go around. So they're going to be practicing. They're going to be shooting 7, 8 matches just to make sure that they really showcase their capabilities,
Yeah. And I think too, that is one thing that we'll see with the leaderboard, because the leaderboard wasn't really public before, in previous years, and having that to show people, because there is a shooter out east, and his employer mentioned it to me at SHOT Show. He's like, tell him he should have shot more matches last year. And I said, well, I'm going to tell him why. And he's like, well, why? And I said, because you missed being on Team Canada by only a couple of points. I'm like, you were this close. I said, you have no idea.
Right.
And he's like, I told you so. And I said, yeah, you were that close. And I've watched this guy and he shot his ass off all year this year to prepare for 2026. It's incredible to see. But I think having that leaderboard will show people maybe I am closer than I think. Or maybe I really need to step it up because I'm not the star I think I am. So
yeah. It can only help. It can only help, right?
100%. And I think what we've also seen too is, I mean, for our junior program, we have a junior who her parents can't always drive her to matches. I mean, that's a kind of a crummy thing about being a junior. You can't transport your own rifle when you're under 18.
Yeah.
And so being able to have somebody that can take you, one of their teammates from their sponsored team drove them to matches when their parents couldn't, so that they could get the matches they needed to qualify for Team Canada and stuff like that. We're seeing a lot of those things in the community, which is absolutely incredible. You know, a good group effort.
Yeah. I mean, you want someone who loves to shoot, you know, not someone who just wants to shoot what they need to shoot.
Yeah. And, or somebody who's like, oh yeah, I think a trip to Great Britain would be fun. It'd be cool to go over and shoot there. It's like, you're really missing the point. I am saying this because we did have a couple of people apply to the team and are like, oh, I started shooting last year and I think it would just be so much fun to go on this trip and have this experience. And I'm like,
it'd be a great experience.
Yeah. I'm like, maybe we need to have, you know, there's a couple of places in Canada that do those group wine tours. You know, it's like, spend 10 days in Tuscany. Here's what it costs, and it includes all your tasting. It'd be like, spend 14 days in Great Britain.
That's awesome.
This is your match fees, and your Ely ammo will be supplied or something. Maybe that's something we need to see.
Oh yeah, we'll do like the competitive match experience.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know.
Fire or the center fire experience.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Oh man. Gonna teach them how to eat M&Ms and beef jerky for lunch.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And Gatorade. Wash it down with Gatorade.
Yeah. The grossest thing I've seen at a match is chocolate protein powder in blue Gatorade.
Ew.
Ooh. You gotta.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? Everybody's got their thing.
Are you talking about dedication to the sport?
Yes. I'm like, well, you got your protein and your electrolytes. There's combinations I might have chosen otherwise, but yeah, I think I prefer the M&Ms and beef jerky.
Yeah, taste has nothing to do with keeping you alive.
Apparently, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's funny.
What else do we need to cover, Carlee? There's so much. I mean, we could talk for days on everything, but it's been great. You've been doing such an amazing job. When I heard you got on with the organizing committee, I think it was such a cool. Said this is gonna make some changes. You know, so congratulations and thank you very much for everything that you guys are doing as a group to, you know, so quickly evolve into a true team. And
I appreciate that. I will say when I joined the CAPRA board, I was probably like, oh my gosh, these guys are gonna be like, this woman is nuts. Because I was like, okay, I can't come in, like, for lack of a better term, like guns blazing. But I came in and I had a lot of ideas, and a lot of people were like, oh, I don't know how this is gonna go. But I came in with a lot of ideas, and everybody piled on and built on the ideas that I had. And we're like, oh, that sounds great. But what if we did this? And what if we added this? And all of those things. And other ideas started coming. And I don't know if it was maybe just adding that fifth person and that dynamic and all of those things that really made the difference. But, you know, CAPRA, we try really hard at CAPRA. We don't always get it right, but we do the best that we can. We really believe in doing the best for the shooters and the best for the community as much as we can. Like I said, we do fundraise a lot. Please go to CanadaPrecisionRifle.com and buy tickets for the sticker draws. We are almost out of stickers for the Vision chassis draw from Go Big Tactical. So I would say you probably got to buy tickets like in the next few days, because as soon as we sell out of those, we're going to draw for that. So it'll be quick. So if you want a new chassis for the season, that might be a great way to do it. We've also got a hunting rifle that we just opened the sticker draw for a 6.5 PRC. which is great. It's an Ultimatum HMD action with an IBI carbon barrel and a Leupold Mark IV and an MDT HNT chassis. It's a really nice rifle. I'm really excited about that. Actually, I think we also had a muzzle brake that just was donated from Insight Arms as well. So it is kind of a coast to coast rifle, which is exciting. So yeah, we've got that, there it is right there. Thank you. And like I said, we do have our Team Canada official apparel, which is great. We have one of the juniors from our Centerfire team, his mom, so Jenna Beckley out in Cranbrook, she makes the hats for us. She does all the leather work and everything. And so we do have these shirts that we do every year for the team. They're kind of nice to, wear on the off days or those kinds of things, or a lot of friends and family back home. A lot of the friends and family that came with the team to Colorado had their team apparel on as well. So, they're a matching cheering section and stuff. And that was also really great. So, like I said, we do have those draws going.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah. And we do have a lot of industry partners that have donated very generously as well. Like I said, Project Maple Seed, the NFA actually gave us a very generous donation last year as well as this year. And Lapua and Hirsch Precision were very, very generous with us this year as well. Very incredible donation that they made to the Rimfire team to really help everybody. Because the travel expenses are steep, and they seem to only be going up. I don't know what's going on with flight costs, but it's crazy. And then we think of our junior team. They can't go unaccompanied, so that's twice the flights for those families as well. So, yeah, we've just and we've got some side stages that are going to be run at some matches. I know there's going to be there last weekend. I think there was in Southern Ontario. And I want to say a couple of more at some upcoming matches throughout the summer in Southern Ontario. We are going to have a side stage to raise money for Team Canada at the Apex Rocky Mountain Challenge on our train-up day. We're really excited about that. It's during the Calgary Stampede, so expect it to be aptly themed. This is something Dan's been cooking this up since last year. He's just like, oh, he's pretty good. Then we'll do it as a side stage to raise money for Team Canada for CAPRA, and it'll be good. So yeah, we're really excited about that. So
that's awesome.
If you are a match director and you would like to do a side stage, something like, oh, what if I only raise like $500? If 10 match directors raise $500, that goes a long way for these things. Yep. So, the match fees are just alone are significant. So, if we could cover everybody's match fee, that would be incredible. And then the jersey fees and those kinds of things that people don't necessarily think of. Those kinds of things. So if you're a match director, what you could do is you can reach out to CAPRA or reach out to me directly. We have posters for each of our sticker draws as well. Also the Canadian Access to Firearms, so the newspaper, they run full page ads promoting Team Canada and CAPRA, and they promote our qualifications. They promote our team announcements. They promote our sticker draws with QR codes and things like that. They do everything that they can to support CAPRA and Team Canada. So, but if you're a match director, put up our posters at your registration and get people to scan QR codes and buy tickets for sticker draws. Or if you want to run a side stage and you've got some questions on how to do it, let me know. I'm happy to help you guys out. I know the rest of the board is as well. It's pretty easy. Like I said, if 10 match directors each raised $500, that's going to go a long way towards sending people.
For sure. Yep.
I did a side stage at Cactus Cup this weekend, and it was to help the ROs. So the winner of the stage got half the money. The other half went to the ROs.
Yeah.
And it raised about $500, right? So it's an easy thing. And the winner got a Boss Gear bag.
Yeah.
Right? So it helps support the community. It helps. Without ROs, you can't run a match.
Yeah.
Right. So it helps with them, and the winner gets to take home some cash too. So.
Well, and that's the thing too. A lot of the industry sponsors are helping with these. Even if it doesn't have to be a rifle that you win from a side stage. It can be anything really. And so those things help out. They help out a ton. And they raise a lot more money than I think people realize. So yeah.
Every dollar helps.
Every dollar helps, right? It's definitely worthwhile. So Yeah, and I mean, it's every 2 years is a Rimfire World Championship, and then it's offset with Centerfire as well. So CAPRA's putting a team together every year, which is crazy to think about. But we, every 2 years for your respective discipline is pretty significant. It gives you enough time, I think, that you're like, whew, just wait, in 2 years I'm coming for you, kind of thing. So, and what we are seeing with the momentum of these teams is that it's fueling a lot of people's desire to do this and to take it to the next step. There are a lot of people
Yeah.
in Canada this year that maybe only started shooting a couple of years ago, and they're like, you know what, I'm
Yeah.
going for it. And we've
Yep.
seen it's incredible to watch. So
For sure. Yeah. No, it's good. And hats off to the original CAPRA guys that, said, I guess we better do this. If it's going to happen, we're going to do it. And
100%.
just jumped in and made it happen. And
they really did.
this
I
is
mean,
the result.
that's the thing. I mean, the CAPRA board needs to exist. Every country has its own precision rifle association, and they all report to the International Precision Rifle Federation. And so I always tell people, I'm like, we're the Hockey Canada, and they're the IIHF. But Hockey Canada is who picks who goes to the World Championship and who has to set up those qualification standards and really regulate the way that things go and kind of be the authority on the sport in the country. And yeah, I mean, the CAPRA guys, they were honestly, like, a lot of this, like, they were kind of just thrown into it. And it's been really great. I mean, one of the things, and this is kind of hilarious, that when I joined the board, I was like, we need to have all of our qualifications in both French and English. And they're like, oh, like, I didn't even think of that. And I was like, well, like, Yannick should have thought of it. But then he got tasked with translating all of it so that everything is there. I'm like, in Canada, we should have it in both official languages. The number of French-speaking members that we have. And that's the other thing, too, that I don't think people necessarily realize is we were in the captain's meeting in Colorado before the match started and before opening ceremonies. And they were talking about language barriers between a lot of countries. And if people don't speak English, in some cases, French isn't the native language in their country, but that might be their second language and the language that they do speak. And so it's like, who here speaks French? And I'm like, well, I speak French. I'm like, but we have a significant contingent. I mean, just the two of the other guys on the CAPRA board are fluent in French. And so having that, and I'm like, we have this many French speaking people on Team Canada. So if you need somebody, these are the people that you can count on and help if there's a disagreement with something and there's a language barrier. So it just feels like so typical Canada stepping up at the Olympics, like all those feel good CBC stories. But I mean, it really is at the end of the day. I mean, we were able to do that a lot. I know that happened a lot in France in 2022 at the inaugural World Championship. And I know some of the Italians, like a lot of them would speak French or would be close enough that it would be helpful and stuff like that. So yeah, it's
awesome. It's good.
Yeah, it's just kind of a long running joke that like the person from Alberta is the one that suggested the French. So
someone's got to do it. A great idea is a great idea, no matter where it comes from. That's perfect.
Yeah, it's the little things. Like, I mean, it's those little details, and they're important, and they all add up, and they all take work, but they are important, and we're always working towards adding those little details wherever we can. And I think, working with the match directors across Canada to be like, okay, how can we as a board set you up for success and get us all pulling in one unified direction? And I think being able to have, especially for Rimfire, like the PRS Rimfire in the foothills region has been really helpful, because we are like a bit of like, this, Rick, like we're a bit of a Rimfire dead zone. And like, because it's like, well, we got all this space, we should only shoot center fire. And it's like, but guys, we got to get people into the sport one way or another. And Rimfire is a great way to do it. And like we said, with like kids and families. And so being able to, get like people on board, it's like, okay, guys, like, you're a center fire shooter, but you'd be a great match director and, help us out here. And, we've had a lot of those guys stepping up to run matches in the prairies and really grow that specific discipline.
And there's a ton of great shooters in the prairies.
Yes. I firmly believe that a lot of, I'm probably going to get, feathered for saying this after this, but I firmly believe that a lot of the best shooters in Canada are in the prairies. But I mean,
There are some proven podium winners out there in the
There
middle.
really are, honestly.
So, yep.
I will say though, our teams Canada have been a really good representation of, coast to coast, everywhere from, the island out to Quebec. We got to get those Atlantic Canada guys, kind of looped in and a part of this as well. But yeah, we were from all over the country last year and will be again this year. Not that many. I think, do we only have one prairie? I think Andrew Wolf might be the only prairie person on the Rimfire team this year, though.
Is that right?
So yeah, he's got the Great Plains on his back. But I think so. I could be mistaken, but that might be right.
Do they have provincial flags on their jerseys?
No, we just the Canadian flag. Yeah, okay. That's an IPSC thing, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But I mean, I guess they could put them on there if they really wanted in some spot. So
on their cuff or something, maybe a little flag.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, why not? But yeah, I think maybe that is one of the things that we do kind of see is Team Canada shows us, like for Centerfire, we were quite balanced throughout. But with Rimfire, we do have that gap on Team Canada.
Yeah. We're still growing, still developing.
100%. There's only one way to go, and that's up. So
I know, that's it, and that's awesome to see.
Yeah.
So far, so good. Keep up the great work.
Thank
you. I said, we were just chit-chatting. I don't know how you do it, but we're glad you're making it work somehow.
I'm very passionate about it. I'm very passionate about the sport and the community and growing it and those kinds of things. So it's a labor of love, I will say that. And it's, work worth doing.
For sure. We appreciate what you and the CAPRA board have done, are doing, will continue to do. We kind of fill the funnel, and then out of that funnel comes, people that choose to accept the challenge of representing our country on the world stage. It's not an easy ask either, emotionally, mentally, physically, or financially. All those take a hit. I mean, you got to take time away from whatever it is your normal day-to-day is and squeeze that into what is not just not an easing life necessarily. So we appreciate and we're looking forward to seeing Team Canada just representing and knowing that every shooter that goes through these matches could be there if they worked at it, and if it's part of their their road to marksmanship. If it's part of it, why not?
Absolutely. That is one of those things that, I mean, really skill and dedication and practice and effort and fundamentals will get you there.
Just got to grind away.
Honestly, yeah.
Well, Carlee, thank you so much for giving us an update on Apex, on CAPRA, on World Championships. Look forward to seeing how it progresses. We will eagerly await the results of kind of what the board's been doing, and certainly what the community of shooters have done in terms of supporting, buying the fundraising. And certainly I'll reach out to you and get a poster that we'll put up at the registration desk and encourage everyone to support. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. I know we kind of came in with a packed agenda there, but no, I really appreciate it. Appreciate
we'll touch base again later in the summer and see how things are going and see what we can do to keep furthering, or just get an update on how things are and what it's shaping to be like.
Yeah, definitely. I think the road leading up to the World Championship for those last few weeks going into it are going to be really interesting.
Yeah, I'm nervous for them, and I'm not even going.
I am too.
Because I know what it's like. I've been to World Championships flying in, and it's just there's so much literal baggage, that you have to.
Oh yeah.
Just the match is just one, not small, but it's such another, just one part of the whole thing. So it's.
Well, I think that's the thing too, and you touched on it. I mean, the emotional level of it, right? I mean, it was one of those things. This is going to sound crazy, but I didn't expect to feel so many feelings when we were in Colorado. I'm somebody though that I will cry when I watch Olympic curling, and I'm not a crier, but I cried so much in Colorado just watching people, how they stepped up to be great teammates.
Yeah.
Even this isn't an individual sport, but you're seeing people
Yeah.
be incredible teammates and be there for each other and watch people overcome huge obstacles and, you know, show up to perform their personal best, or people who had an incredible season and just, wasn't their day. And it's heartbreaking. And you see that you go through, I mean, the Olympics and watching it really is the best way that I can equate it. The roller coaster of emotions of this for a world championship. And yeah, I mean, you show up with all this baggage and all these things. And at the end, it's like, we did a thing.
Yeah, we did a thing. Or can you believe we're here? You know,
and just being able to control that emotion as an athlete too. It's like, because it is a big deal and it's a big stage, and you know, all eyes are on you and people are watching from back home because it's broadcast on YouTube and things like that. It can really get to some people. So being able to work through that is considerable too.
It's a learning process.
Definitely.
Yeah, but I'm glad they get the opportunity and hope they build on that and keep building, and we'll see where we end up. It's good. Awesome. Well, I am looking forward to it. I'm excited.
Me too.
Mr. Travis, I know you've supported Team Canada, so we appreciate your contribution to the sport.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I'm making custom bags for all the Team Canada members.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I offered anybody who wants them on the team. So the black bags with red handles, they're going to have their names on them with a Canadian flag. So they're, I think I've got 11 or so to do. I was a little bit nervous to make that offer because there's 22 people and 22 bags. I don't think I've sold 22 bags all year. So I was like, I'm going to do my entire year so far in one shot, but we did it anyway. And so that's
good for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks, Travis.
Yeah, that's really fantastic.
Support how I can.
You'll be happy. And you'll be happy to know that at the match at Nova Scotia this past weekend, there were so many Boss Gear bags I couldn't tell which were the loaners and which were personal. I assumed they were all loaners because just the amount that was on the tables. I ended up stealing 2 or 3 people's bags because they thought, "Hey, where'd my bag go?" I said,
"Oh wow, that's awesome."
Oh, you're right. It doesn't have CRPS on. No, it's good. So it's there. It's there. So congratulations on.
So you're smart to put the name on the handle.
I know.
Yeah, I got my mom can do the embroidery for me. So it's perfect. Hey mom, can you do this? She tried it, it works. So let's see how it does, right? And if everybody has the same
doing
bag,
it for tell her she's doing it for Team Canada.
Oh, I did. Yeah, she's very excited.
Those emotional heartstrings.
But see, these are all of the unsung heroes that get a team to where they are, right? It's those things that people don't see. It's the mom that makes lunches for all the guys at the range. It's those things, right? The mom that embroiders the bags, or just any of those things. Those things are all contributions that are they matter and they're impactful, even if they seem small and insignificant. They really aren't.
Yeah. Well, it's great to see so much support. It's nice to see the industry stepping up, and it's nice to see people organizing so that we can help make it happen, because just because you're a great shooter doesn't mean you can afford to go. So this is awesome. Yeah, perfect. Super. Well, thanks guys. I appreciate it. I enjoyed our chat. I enjoyed the keep doing what you're doing. We look forward to seeing more updates. Travis, are we going to see you this weekend, or you got stuff to do?
I got stuff. Yeah,
that's all right. You got a life.
Landscaping
you
this
can't be at the range. You can't be at the range every 2 weekends. Come on, what's the matter?
Well, it's funny because I know it's going to be a nice weekend because I'm not going to be there, right?
Are you the guy?
Apparently, we'll see, right? We'll see what happens. If it doesn't rain, I'm the guy.
Well, that's a joke with Kelly Lynn and her maple seeding. 80% of her events are rained out.
Oh.
She wasn't not rained out. We still have them. It's just miserable rain. Well,
Mildly
she wasn't
moist.
at my event on Saturday, but it was torrential. The range was flooded. We had troughs of water in people's shooting mats. It was brutal. We had 2 drop out because of potential hypothermia. They were shivering on the line. It was like not safe, but everyone ended up with smiles on their faces and shots on target. So it was all good in the end. It's part of learning how to shoot.
Yep.
I've been
Canada,
to a
I
wet
guess.
Kelly maple seed yet.
Yeah, there you go. Well, thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
See you guys down the road. Appreciate the time. Keep up the great work. Travis will chat with you later.
Sounds good.
So long, everybody. We'll see you on the firing line.